Hi, welcome to episode 1 of I Don't Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Adam, also known as Vivum.
Yeah, and I don't watch House of the Dragon.
I also didn't watch House of the Dragon.
Yeah, so we are here to talk about obviously House of the Dragon. We currently watched up to episode 5 as of the recording, and we have a lot to say.
I believe episode 6 is going to come out tomorrow for us.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because it's Sundays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah so for you guys, it's probably going to be more like you've already finished the whole series, but...
Yeah, but before all that, we have tea.
We do.
I also have miniatures. I hope you like the setup.
Yeah, I hope you like the merch collection that my co-host here has set up for y'all.
This won't be back next week.
Yeah. So tonight we are indulging ourselves on a nice fresh jasmine.
You finished?
I did finish my cup.
Jesus. We had some before, and this was fine. And it is fine. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't have any flavorful stuff because we got it kind of early. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit better now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's really like the highest quality jasmine tea out there or anything.
No.
It's just twinnings, but, it's still loose leaf and it looks good on camera. So, yeah.
We're just going to be drinking tea in these episodes.
It's good for you. It's caffeine. It's warm liquid, so it helps with your throat. Because, we be screaming all the time.
One of us does. I'm not going to... Anyway. House of the Dragon. Let's talk about it.
Well, first of all, it's a really misleading title because they never have the dragons inside.
That's from what we've seen. No, we had one.
We've seen the dead dragons inside.
No, episode 1. Okay, first off, spoilers for up to episode 5 of House and all of Game of Thrones. Like, that's just...
Yeah, if you haven't seen all of Game of Thrones and the House of the Dragons, get out of here. Go. Out.
I can't. Now that they're gone.
Now that they're gone.
Or watched all of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and come back. Kept us tabbed the entire time.
Yeah. The first episode, Daemon had his long neck dragon in the cave before he left.
Oh.
I mean, they're dens kind of rather than houses. But
well, then why is it like an 8-episode first season? It's like...
Is it only going to be 8 episodes?
I assume so.
Oh.
Because that's how they did like the last few seasons of Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, but also those were bad.
So, I mean, it's not a bad structure for... Okay.
I'm just saying.
We already saw the house that the dragon was in, so why do we need to see the rest of the series?
Yeah, you're right. All right, well, we're probably going to talk about this episode by episode since there's a lot of episodes to cover.
Yeah, so starting with episode 1, that was called...
Oh, I didn't write the names. Fuck. Oh, I took notes. He wrote...
I wrote down the names of the episodes.
Yeah.
Episode 1, Heirs of the Dragon. There was the tournament with young Rhaenys and younger Viserys.
Yes. Daemon's the commander of the Watch. And he
doesn't stay there for long, but he's been busy.
He's very violent. I did think I'm not gonna say funny or good, but I was gonna say I did think it was interesting, like cutting off all the stuff that like the people like not sinned with, but broke the law with, like thieves had their hands cut off and
yeah, it's a very like old school medieval poetic justice kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's eye for an eye. What's it called?
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Yeah, but what's the actual law of Hammurabi? Not Hammurabi.
Yes, that is Hammurabi's
code. Hammurabi. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's very much that, or akin to that. But they're not as barbaric as those times, I guess, to them. So they're like, oh, hey, that's very violent. Stop that.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. There's probably some like social commentary in there about police brutality in the U.S. But,
yeah. It could
okay. Well, whatever.
There's also sexism against Rhaenys. That's the cousin of Viserys.
Damn, are you just going through like all the themes like a book report? What is this?
It's one of the first things. We just skipped over it. I was going to talk about Jaehaerys, but I was just like, that's not, I guess, important. Whatever. Do you remember Jaehaerys?
Yes, I do know Jaehaerys.
Whatever.
Jaehaerys. Not Jaehaerys.
Whatever.
My co-host, ladies and gentlemen.
Shush you. Because, okay, I just want to make sure. They did a vote, right? Of all the lords?
Yes, after Jaehaerys died, they made a vote.
Jaehaerys did die? He was on the throne, wasn't he? He was just dying.
The vote was for after.
It was for succession because both his sons died.
Sure. Anyways. In post, just make me look good, Chris.
I'm not gonna do that. That's hard to do. Anyway.
Yeah, so they did the vote, and Viserys got it instead of his cousin.
Yeah. Well, by the way, I think I don't know if I talked to you about this off recording, but I've mentioned that like, and I've heard that like people that make like fantasy stories. I mean, this isn't a George R. R. Martin thing, and he does some good commentary and stuff. I think, but like there are some fantasy story writers that are like, oh, we want to keep in all these X elements because to keep it realistic, and it's just like, bro, this is your fantasy world. Like that is
You don't have to have like pretty much anything that you don't want in there. Like, in storytelling, it's implied that your characters go to the bathroom, but I mean, you could just make it a rule of your world that no one shits.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe don't be like J.K. Rowling and describe certain things, but.
Or if you do, make it very explicit in your lore and in just the everyday writings of your text.
Yeah. But anyway, like they justify like things that don't need to be there, like because instead of like doing like real like social commentary other than oh yeah this bad thing is bad, like which I think George R. R. Martin does better, like especially as the things go on or whatever. Like they just want to keep in stuff because they're like either lazy or also kind of like bigoted in some capacities or whatever. It's like, yeah, we should keep this violent acts on certain people because that's realistic. When it's just like, bro, you have dragons.
Just eat the dragons.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't they eat the dragons?
They'll fix your famine.
Yeah.
They're big.
I don't know if they'll fix all the famine. Let's see what else happened.
Well, there was a tournament in the honor of his son being born.
Yes, that was episode 1.
That was episode 1.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's rough. All that stuff that happens. I liked well, we'll get to it, but at that time I really liked Sir Cole. Kristen Cole.
Yes, Sir Chris. Is it Kristen or Crispin?
It's Kristen.
Kristen.
Yeah. I really liked Kristen at this time. Because I was like, he's like showing Daemon that Daemon's like not like the best. Like, you prick. We'll get to some of the later stuff in Matt Smith's episodes. But he does very well. I mean,
I really like how, like, the way he portrays the character, you really believe that he's a sociopath.
Yeah, he's crazy. Well, like, I saw some comments of people saying that, like, every episode bar, I think the second, they just have scenes with Daemon not saying anything. Just like, you know, just panning him and just like just the facial expressions. And he does very well. Like that's all you do.
Yeah, it works.
But have you seen Matt Smith and other stuff?
Yes, I was in middle school. I was a really big fan of the 10th Doctor.
No,
wait.
That's
no, he would have been the 11th Doctor.
Yeah, Matt Smith's 11th technically.
Yes, because Tennant was 10th. 10. I really liked the Matt Smith arcs in Doctor Who when I used to watch Doctor Who.
Yeah, I just liked it.
I haven't really seen him in much else.
He was in Grindelwald, right, or something.
Was he in Grindelwald?
No, I was thinking. Fuck, this is gonna be bad. I was thinking of Morbius. He's in fucking Morbius.
No, this makes sense. Okay, This is going off on a bit of a tangent to episode 3, but we don't know how he killed the crab eater. So when he went in the cave, he morbed out.
Yeah,
and that's how he got the crab eater.
Yeah, we never saw it. So he's actually fucking a bat. I was gonna say a ghost. Jesus. Yeah, we saw him morb out, or well, we didn't see him morb out.
It is heavily implied that he morbed out and killed the crab eater.
Yeah. But that's episode 3 spoilers. We're on episode.
Yeah,
1.
we'll get there.
But yeah, he's
a bad dude. He's a real big meanie.
Okay. I don't know if you heard about this before we not binged the entire show in one sitting.
I certainly didn't.
I did. I heard things about Damon and Rhaenyra, and I was like,
oh, so you got spoilers from like the books?
No, I just saw like people be like, I saw memes of people saying that like, how come the Lannisters got so much shit, but when the Targaryens do incest, everyone loves it, and I was like, what? I was so confused. I was like, then when I watched it, I was like, Damon and Rhaenyra have this kind of creepy thing. That's kind of, although there are some things that like Damon says later on that I think are very funny in like episode 4 or something, which we'll get to. But yeah, I mean episode 1's still just a lot of setup, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one? Is episode 1 where the son dies and the
yes? Episode 1 is the tournament and the C-section.
Yeah. I felt, oh my god, I don't know how you felt about the C-section stuff.
I thought that the C-section, like it being like shot in parallel to the tournament, that was really good.
Yeah.
I thought that was done really, really well.
Yeah, it was very well done. I felt, we're gonna get to this. I don't know how you feel about him by episode 5, but like, I am already invested in like how Viserys is as a character, and kind of how eventually he kind of parallels. Because Viserys was the name of Daenerys' brother, right? Viserys?
It was a very close name. Because I remember that the dragon she named Viserion.
Yeah, and that was in name.
That's... And that's how I remember it, at least.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Viserys. I could be wrong. If future me, if I'm very wrong, cut this out.
Put the correct name right here.
Anyway, yeah, but like I really like that he, like, he was begging for like a son for so long, and he was just like craving it because the idea of like an heir and stuff. And then when the time came, it's like you can either save one of them or neither of them. And then I'm like, even knowing that like, oh, you can still save your son, like, or possibly, he was still like, I don't want my wife to die. Like I love her. But then when he had to like not tell her because
she'd start freaking out.
Like she did. Like, which I felt so bad. Like that was so sad. I don't know how you felt about it, but just...
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's very brutal. It's very Game of Thrones,
yeah,
which I liked. But if the Maesters knew that she was gonna die from it, why didn't they just like give her milk of the poppy or something?
I thought they said that too much would harm the baby.
Well, it would, but the baby's coming out.
Yeah, but I thought they said like, I mean, the baby died, like, which I thought. The thing is, I thought the way that they were showing the baby like crying and being held after his birth, I thought was what's it called? I thought it was telling us that, oh yeah, this baby's gonna die, but then like
but then you forgot that that's just kind of what babies do when they're born.
But like I don't know the way that they presented it looked like a way that it was gonna die, but then at the very end shot right before like they transition, like the baby was just crying like normal, and then it cuts to the baby dying, and I think that's one of the few things of the at the very least the first episode that was like, well, that was kind of weird. like they could have handled that better. I don't know, in my opinion, because like I feel like just cutting from the baby like crying.
I think that I kind of agree. I feel like they could have made the baby's cries a bit more sickly. Get like a proper voice actor
cry,
in there.
Yeah, or just like stop crying at some point.
Instead,
or just like
instead of going, they could have gone like, or something,
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then.
Or the baby couldn't have been human. What if it was like a
dragon?
A dragon. or like a little goblin man or something.
They don't got goblins. This is the wrong show, bro. We're talking about Rings of Power later. Do they have goblins in Rings of Power? I know they have orcs.
They have goblins in Lord of the Rings.
Well, that's what. I mean, have we seen them in Rings of Power though?
Not yet.
Spoilers for Rings of Power.
I mean, I'm not talking like a literal goblin. I mean like a real deformed looking.
Oh.
Like demon baby.
Yeah, I guess.
Missed opportunity.
I guess. Anyway, episode 1 ends off with a big
funeral.
Well, no, not just that.
Oh.
A big bomb of like Aegon foresaw a Song of Ice and Fire.
Yes.
Why'd you take so long?
I forgot about it.
I feel like that's a major plot. I mean,
is it? Is it though?
It is if you're following the books and keeping it consistent with that. So yes.
I mean, it's just the title of the books.
Yeah, but like it's an interesting thing of like Aegon at like from the very beginning of conquering Westeros, like wanting to unite the idea so that like they can be prepared for when this happens. Like that's kind of why like all that stuff kind of transpired.
And it didn't really work out for him, did it?
For the show, maybe.
I mean, they weren't really prepared for the Song of the Ice, really, at all.
No, they weren't.
Like even in the canon of the show.
Canon of the books.
We ain't there yet.
Exactly.
That's happened.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The canon of the books. The show. Okay, we should probably get this out of the way. Right?
Yeah, we've both seen Game of Thrones. Everyone's seen Game of Thrones.
That's not true.
Every single human being on this planet has seen Game of Thrones 3 times all the way through.
Yeah. But I don't. It's hard to evaluate this show, like knowing the the finish line, right? Like I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, okay. Game of Thrones, its ending and its merits and its failings have been talked to death by everyone on the internet, so I don't want to get into that too much here.
Yeah.
But the short version, ending bad, rest of show good.
True.
And people attribute that to many different factors. With Fire and Blood, I don't think that the ending of Game of Thrones is really going to affect that much, because this, like, it to a certain extent, it doesn't really matter what happens in House of Dragons.
Yeah.
Because, like, the way they have it set up right now, a Targaryen is still going to be on the Iron Throne no matter who wins.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like, that's when... I don't know how you feel about prequel stuff, but, like, and I guess maybe this is part of, like, the dread of the idea of that prequels have, but knowing the family names of like much later stuff and knowing which family names in this prequel that aren't mentioned really,
yeah, so
you're just kind of like, well, we know that they're not big competitors in later stuff.
Like one of the biggest houses is in House of Dragons is the Ship House.
The Valerians.
Yes, the House Valerian.
Oh, and Hightower.
Oh yeah, Hightower is really powerful at this time.
Yeah, and then both of them, we don't hear of them in Game of Thrones.
We hear of Hightower and the setting of it, but they're not really an important player.
Yeah, they're not important players. Like, and that's, I'm assuming, possibly just because things happen. It doesn't necessarily have to be from this, but like they fade out. But yeah, going back, Aegon foresaw ruin.
Aegon wrote Game of Thrones.
But I'm just saying that, like, yeah, Aegon wrote Game of Thrones. Aegon, and then this is the secret passed down to all Targaryens, or all rulers, all the ruling Targaryens, and like I feel like that's kind of like, I don't know, that when that show like a dictate kind of how a lot of them went up until. I mean, I don't know when they kind of stopped. Like maybe the Mad King, like it stopped at because he was just like.
Oh yeah, like you're talking about like the visions that they have. Or?
Well, just the direction of where they want their empire to be, like in preparation for this kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because like the rulers, like knowing this thing would be like, okay, well, this is obviously very important. Like we should probably do this at the very least. How Viserys sees it, like, and. Up until then, they've been passing this down, so obviously it's important enough, right? Because I'm assuming that people closer to the age of Valeria, right, or the old Valeria, like, they take visions very seriously. Obviously, closer to to Daenerys' time. Obviously, that's not as important because they're just
not even the show thinks it's important once
well, I mean,
to an extent.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say about episode 1?
Not really. I think it was a really good setup.
Yeah.
Got to some really good scenes with the characters and stuff, but I mean,
what do you think of Rhaenyra?
Rhaenyra. She's cool. I don't know.
Episode 1 doesn't really do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, not so much in episode 1, really.
No. All right, though. Episode 2.
Episode 2. What was episode 2? Rogue Prince. Viserys Mingles.
Viserys Mingles.
That's what I wrote down.
Daemon squats at Dragonstone for 6 months. Oh, yeah. There's quite a few time skips.
Oh, yeah. Like, every episode has a time skip.
Yeah. Which I'm just like...
Between or during.
Yeah.
But,
do you like time skips?
I like him in House of Dragons.
That's fair. Yeah, I think it does well enough, especially because you can see like specific characters like aging, like all the kids and stuff. Like,
I mean, I haven't really come across any time skips that I dislike a whole lot. Okay. So
that's good.
So I guess I like time skips. I'm fine with them.
Let's see.
Okay.
Episode 2, I don't have a lot of stuff for episode 2. Oh, this was the episode Viserys is like, oh yeah, you should get married.
Yeah, Viserys Mingles.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what you meant. Viserys mingles with a lot of people. I don't know.
He mingled with his 12-year-old niece.
No, well, yes, but no. Yeah, dude, I was like, when they were saying with the niece and stuff, I was just like, it's probably gonna be bad. And then they showed it, I was like, oh, this is gross. And even, the thing too I really liked was that he was like, there's a child. And then they're like, yeah. And the king's like, the hell?
The fuck do you mean?
I'm gonna say now, I really like Viserys. Like, his whole character.
Yeah, Viserys as a character and like the actor that plays him.
Oh, he's great.
Really good. I really like how he has a motif going where he just becomes more dead the more time goes along.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, like, take into account that this chair of swords that would prick you and that they don't have enough, like, type of medicine to,
he gave himself leprosy on the iron chair.
Dude, I just love that, like, oh, let the maggots eat the fucking dead flesh. It's like, how's that gonna help you? Like,
I'm pretty sure that is like a real thing that medieval doctors would do.
Yeah, but obviously that doesn't work that well.
Well, not for him. It didn't work out for him. He's got an infection. He's got leprosy.
Yeah.
And also possibly grayscale? Maybe?
The one spot is back?
Yeah, well, that one spot grew into more spots.
But it was spread if it was grayscale, though.
It could just be more of the infection that he got on the chair, but it was there before the chair.
No, they said that, oh yeah, you've been, like, cutting yourself. I thought they said that before.
Oh, well, maybe.
They might not.
I mean, the whole thing's a metaphor about how power is destroying this man's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more he sits on the Iron Throne, the more it takes him down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of good symbolism and stuff.
Yes. A lot of the symbolism in House of the Dragons is very similar to, like, the season 1 symbolism in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like the scene where we meet Tywin and he's carving up a stag.
Yes.
Because he's carving up the kingdom that was run by the Baratheon, because the Baratheon's a stag.
Yes. Good stuff.
Yeah. Very big brain.
Yeah.
I don't pick up on any of it, but I watch the Alt Shift X videos. I know what's up.
Yeah, I unfortunately go on Reddit or Twitter, and I see what people say. But yeah, he denies Lena. Although it is funny because, like, he talks to literally everyone, and they're all like, even his own daughter Rhaenyra is like, you should get married to Lena, and then he's just like,
marry the 12-year-old.
Yeah,
do it.
And then he's just like, you're right, and he's like, I'm gonna
marry the 16-year-old.
Yeah, I'm gonna marry my daughter's best friend, and then
that was like the worst choice he could have picked.
Yeah. And dude, fucking Allison's dad, Otto. Dude, when he was saying to his daughter, like, oh yeah,
Go fuck the king.
Yeah, go be with the king for the night, and make sure he's not sad. And it's just like, it's so gross. How could you say that? I mean, I get it. I get like position of power and like all these different things, but it's just like, dude, that's your daughter. Like even like Viserys later in episode 3. That's the second year birthday, right? Second birthday. Second name.
Yes, episode 3 is the hunt. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that episode, no, I'm skipping a little bit, but Viserys he's like, "Oh, I just want my daughter to be happy," and then contrast that to like Otto is like, "Go sleep with the king." He's just like, "Okay,
fuck the king, do it."
Yeah, it's like,
tell him about the books you read.
Cause he didn't have to tell her that. He could have told anyone else that. He could have just been like, "Oh yeah, I hired a prostitute, or I asked this other girl that would love to sleep with the king."
They have quite the sex industry in King's Landing.
Yeah, and then it's like, nah, because one of the things like later about Otto is because like he does seem like he has the kingdom's interest at heart, but also
he seems like a nice guy, but
he also is like self-interested. Like
and the moment he gets fired, he's revved up for civil war.
Yeah. I mean, I think I know this is skipping a lot.
Servant of the state, my ass.
But like, I mean, his concerns are valid based on the reactions of like different people.
But he's also part of the problem.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, okay, like you would think like a united front would be fine. Like, I want to skip ahead, but we should go back to episode 2. Episode 2, what else happens? Alicent betrays Rhaenyra because she finds out she's sleeping with her dad.
Oh, there was the scene on the bridge at Dragonstone.
Oh,
I really like that scene.
Yeah, Rhaenyra's cool and strong.
She saved the day.
Yeah, by just being like, "Hey, Damon, just give me the stupid thing back," and then he's like, "Fine."
Give me the egg, Damon. And Damon's like, "Oh, okay."
Like Daenerys holding.
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah, it's that egg.
Sure.
Anyway, episode 2, it was cool.
Mostly more setup, honestly.
Yeah. Episode 4 and 5 are very good, but we'll get there.
But episode 3, in the meantime, second of his name.
That's right.
This is where things actually start to happen.
Yeah. We got the crab feeder, a 3-year time skip.
We have the hunt.
Yeah.
Filled with symbolism, that hunt.
Aegon's born. Another... I don't know. Whenever they name, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna name our kid like the greatest king that there was. Like, I don't know.
That probably means he's gonna die.
I mean, like John, right? He was named Aegon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so it's either prophecy or they're gonna die.
Exactly.
So I guess prophecy still. Oh, something I noticed by this point that I wrote down is the tree that has all the red leaves. The
tree.
The one with the weeping faces.
Oh, yes.
That has symbolism that I can't remember in the original Game of Thrones.
One of the old gods.
Something like that. Yeah. I realized that... I don't know if this is like a purposeful thing, but like anytime that tree's there, people are just showing up for information, right? Because like...
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like the sneaky... I know what you know setting.
Yeah, because like what's it called? Rhaenyra, when she's actually hanging out with Alicent in the first episode or 2, like they're studying under that tree, if I'm not mistaken. And so like, it's there symbolizes like a lot of knowledge, right? Because she's there, and then after the marriage with Alicent, like she's there studying while the bards being her Spotify. And
yep.
And then later on, we'll see like more people talking under there.
They do that again in episode 4 and 5.
Yeah, so like that, and yeah. So like the tree like shows like a lot of like I feel like that's where a lot of like secrets, like information and schemes happen, right? And scenes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what it's supposed to mean, but that's what I've seen. So, which I thought was pretty neat.
On one of the 3 sets they have the tree one where they discuss politics.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, that's the tree set. What else happened? Hightower. No, I'm just
we should talk about the war in the Stepstones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Really cool scene, that fight at the end of episode 3. I like that.
Oh yeah, when Damon's just like, fuck this.
And the kid with the dragon.
Uh,
Not Damon.
Leonor.
Sure.
That's the brother, right?
The
one that's going to wed.
Yes.
Yeah, Leonor.
Leonard.
Yeah, Leonard.
Lenny. My boy Lenny. Lenny Valerian.
Yeah. Leonor. I think it's Leonor.
Leonor?
Leonor,
all right.
whatever.
Put it right here.
Yeah, he rides on a dragon.
He burned some people. That's pretty cool. I didn't know he had a dragon. I thought he was riding Damon's dragon until they said otherwise.
No, because they said they said each family has 5 dragons, right?
Yeah, I just didn't pick up on it.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
You know.
I remember when they started the battle stuff. I was like, in my head, I'm like, why don't they just go in the caves?
And then he goes in the cave.
Yeah, well, I mean, like he goes to the cave after they draw him out, which, albeit when they were like all drawn out to like.
Yeah, we're continuing the grand
okay.
Game of Thrones tradition where the tactics don't really make any sense.
I mean, I thought George R. R. Martin bases a lot of the fights on specific like battles and stuff.
I'm not sure about that. I just know that in the show, for the most part, the tactics they don't make sense.
Kind of wonky, yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay. Here's my thing about fantasy battles in film.
Yeah,
like I'm a history nerd as well as like a nerd.
Yeah.
so I mean, I'm not like I didn't go to like military school or anything, but I know a little bit about tactics and the way that Hollywood films and a lot of TV productions do fantasy battles just
is not good.
Like even in films that I do like the best example I can give of a good fantasy battle is probably the Battle of Pelennor Fields in Return of the King. But the tactics don't really make any sense.
Yeah.
But I think it works for that film because at least there's a logic that you can follow.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, these guys attack here, so it causes a problem for these people, so now that's all taken care of by the guys who come in from this side. At least there's that sort of logic. But in House of the Dragon Episode 3, it's just kind of a big brawl.
Yeah. Well, because like when
there's a big brawl, like they have the archers up on the ledges.
Yeah, which that's smart.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, there's definitely not enough archers to even get like a full volley, like not even close.
Yeah.
But at least it's some logic that you can follow. Ooh. Logic that you can follow. Yeah, that sounds better. Keep that in, Chris. But like, like everyone on the ground, with the exception of Damon, like it's just noise fighting.
Yeah, I mean, even the idea that so many people had to come out to kill Damon, I thought was kind of dumb.
It's that really like Hollywood plot armor kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I mean, him surviving is the Hollywood plot armor, but like just that like.
Although he did get shot, like 3 times.
Yes, which was cool.
Yes. He good, but he ain't that good.
Yeah, but I don't know, because I was like. I made a joke about like, oh yeah, why don't they go in the caves? Like, oh well, they're all like in there, like so anyone who comes in, they'll just be ready, right? I'm like, why don't they just like throw like powder and just like burn them in there? Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, your dragon.
Yeah, with the way that they portray it to us, the audience, we could just think, oh, why don't the dragons just breathe fire in the cave?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they're just very deep and like they can't get around.
Even if they did that, then the smoke would asphyxiate them. And I mean, these guys aren't above doing war crime things, so that's like the simplest tactical solution to their problem.
I mean, I guess it boils down to what you were saying, just like
we're too smart for this show.
Yeah. Sorry, House of the Dragon. We could write better.
George R. R. Martin is dumb.
Don't say George. We don't mean that. You're more than welcome on our show.
Yeah, come on. But you'll sit right here, drink some tea.
Yeah.
We want you on the show. You're real smart.
You just call him dumb.
Look. I'm just saying. So episode 4.
Yeah. Well, what else? Anything else?
Oh yeah, the crab feeder died. I thought the crab feeder was going to be a lot larger
Like a
of a
bigger
character.
character?
Yeah. But instead, he's just sort of this guy that Damon has to kill, and that's it.
Well, I mean, I like the idea that it leads into episode 4 where, like, the crab feeder's dead, but there's someone to replace him. So it's like the idea that, like, there's always someone grabbing for power. Albeit it was the Valerians. I still thought it was very interesting that, like, there's someone at the ready to be like, hey, we drink too fast, bro.
We ran out of tea.
Yeah.
This is a travesty.
You can just.
This is a travesty, Chris.
Okay.
Travesty.
Episode 4.
Oh, actually, more about the crab feeder. When he had like the face reveal in episode 1, where it was like they're going to, like, the camera's on the beach and it's at sunset and there's people like being eaten alive and then it goes to the crab feeder. Brilliant shot.
Yeah.
That was beautiful and it was terrifying. It was really cool.
I also like when they showed the crab feeders, or the victims at least, and then it showed Damon first showing up.
And then he steps on the guy.
Dude, I was like, oh my god. He's like, you've come to save me. Like, I knew he was going to die. I thought he was going to die.
It's really easy to see where they were going with that. But
yeah, but it's so funny. Or tragic, depending on your view.
I cried.
Tears of laughter.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, what did Rhaenyra do anything in episode 3? Really? Oh no, yeah, she did a ton of stuff in episode 3. Why are we talking about that?
The hunt.
Yeah,
the other part.
We skipped to the end.
We were talking about the B plot the whole time.
Yeah, the A plot. Lot of stuff going on with Viserys.
Yeah, Viserys is trying to hook up Rhaenyra to get married, and Rhaenyra's like, "No, I don't want to be married to a noble. Yeah. I want to be free." Yeah.
I think this is the real turn. I don't know about turning point, but real like show that Viserys is like such a like well written character of like wanting to be this good father and recognizing that like he like married out of like his own desire and that he just wants what's best for her, but also like there are things in play that is like, yeah, I made you heir to the throne. Yeah, I want you to marry whoever you want, but you have to get married. And, like, you have to, like, portray yourself as, like, you know, desirable and stuff or whatever.
He's a very nuanced character.
Yeah, he's great.
There's a lot going on with that guy.
And then he just gets drunk. He's like, I'm sad. It's just like, that was great.
And then he killed the big brown stag at the end, and he stabs it, and it doesn't die. And the guy's like, oh, you got to hit him right here. He's like,
yeah.
Everyone claps.
It's very good.
That's symbolic, probably.
Well, the more symbolic scene is with Rhaenyra and the whites.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a bit much.
The white
honestly.
heart. Yeah.
Yeah, the white heart appears for Rhaenyra, and she doesn't kill it.
Yeah.
I thought that was too dumb for Game of Thrones.
Too dumb.
Because I picked up on it. You see, the thing with the brown stag and the stabbing him twice, I had to watch the Alt Shift X video for that.
Okay.
The white stag's too obvious.
Yeah. What did the brown stag say?
Brown stag, he said, ah, and then he died.
I meant in the video.
No, it's not about the stag being brown. It's about how like he goes to kill it, but it doesn't die, so he has to go a second time. Because that's like a theme with Viserys about how his intentions do not go well.
Yeah, his intentions are always there. His approach is never. Like, you know, he's such a good character. I don't know. They killed the boar. Hit her.
Oh yeah, she hunted a boar.
Her and
Kristen
Cole
Cole
are getting along better for now.
Yeah, he's all like, oh, you're a princess. Ah, that's pretty cool. I would have loved to be a princess. And then she's like, no, it's terrible. I only get to kill the boars, not the stags.
Is that what she said?
I don't remember.
I think she said something like that.
The point is she ran away from the noble suitors, and she started mingling with Kristen.
Yeah. I liked the Lannister kid. No, not kid. He's like an adult. What's his name? The one who asked for her hand.
Yeah, I don't remember what he's called.
Yeah, he's dumb.
Yeah. it's funny. Especially since we know, like, Tywin and
because like the House
Tyrion.
Lannister layers, like they're all like geniuses.
2 generations later, they're the top tier minds in all of Westeros. And
now
they're just kind of frat boys.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't remember what else happened much. Episode 3.
We fight the crab. They hunt for the stag.
Yes. Oh, I really like that Viserys stood up for his choice to keep Rhaenyra. When people were like implying, oh, like now that you have a son, he's like, now that I have a son, what? And he's like, well, you have an heir now. He's like, I had an heir. Like, what?
She's still my heir.
Yeah, she's still my heir.
What are you implying, Hand?
Yeah. And I do like that he recognized, like, when he was drunk, and I think in the next episode, too, that he, like, realized that he was kind of doing this because of what Damon was doing, because he was acting like a shithead. But then he's just like, nah, I genuinely want this because, like, I think it would help better. And then he's just like, well, yeah, but is it too late because I kind of was just doing it selfishly or as penance or whatever? Or repentance? I was just like...
Penance.
Penance. Yeah, okay, penance. As penance.
It's the same etymology. It's fine.
Anyway, it's very good. I thought all of his scenes about all that discussion stuff was very...
Viserys is a good character.
Yes. Episode 4.
Episode 4. Sex.
That is what people said.
There was a lot of sex.
There was a brothel. It was... I don't know.
There was quite the skin soup.
There was
in episode 4.
Let's see. Rhaenyra is looking for suitors. Dude, when the kid suitor came up...
I love that guy.
and then the guy was just...
What did you say? Draw your sword!
Yeah,
he fucking kills him. Oh, that was so good.
That was great. And then the dad's like, no, my son. And then he's just like... And then the kid's gonna, like, throw up. I'm like...
What have I done?
I don't know what houses they were, though.
I don't know what houses they were. I love that kid, though. That kid's gonna do great things.
The kid was descendant of Blackwood, I think.
Blackwood?
Yeah, and then the guy who died had a horse sigil. And I don't know what.
Maybe something from the Vale.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, are there gonna be repercussions for that since he killed, like, I don't know, just like a important-ish figure, but I don't.
I love that scene.
It's so good.
It's so good.
And then freaking Rhaenyra just like...
Yeah, she just ignores it and just walks away.
It's like, yeah, that's potential to be bad. Goodbye. But, I want to talk about it a little bit, too. Going back to, I think, episode 2. Because it's more about Rhaenyra. When she was talking to Rhaenyra about being the first in line to the throne. And then Rhaenyra is like, no one's gonna... Like
they would rather burn the kingdom to the ground than see a queen.
Yeah, and then she's all like, no, they'll respect me or whatever. It's like, is that what they say to you when you pour like their drink and stuff? And it's just like, ooh, like it's true. Like I don't know. I think what I wanted for Rhaenyra to do was different than how her character develops. Because like maybe I wanted her to like try to grasp her power more, which is something Daenerys does. So I know that like retreading that isn't like the most interesting. So her kind of going about like, kind of following her dad's rules, but like also like, I kind of just want to do my own thing, but she's not really doing anything in particular that's her own thing.
Yeah.
So, like, it feels very like teen rebellion thing, which she is. Like, so consistent at least.
Yeah, I mean she could just like fly away.
Yeah, anyone with a dragon could just fly away.
I mean, if I was in that kind of a fucked up situation, I'd probably just like fly to Essos.
Fair.
Chill in Bravos or something.
Yeah, that's true. Daemon was called King of the Narrow Sea, and then Neil to Viserys. That was neat.
Yeah, because we as the audience just didn't know what he was gonna do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is more testament to Matt Smith playing
Isn't Matt Stone the guy who can eat a lot of like food?
That's Matt Stoney.
Is there not a Matt Stone? Is that the closest?
There's a.
Look at Matt
Dwayne
Stone.
The Rock Johnson.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Damon. Oh yeah, Matt Smith does such a great job.
We don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
That's the best part about him.
But I like that in episode 3 when Valerian, the
Father Valerian,
the sea snake. Yeah.
Yes, the sea snake.
When he was talking shit about Viserys, and then Damon's like, "Don't talk about my brother like that." It's just like I think I saw it like on a comment. It's like he just has a lot of little brother energy, which is just like, yeah, that's fair, I guess. Which I wondered. Oh, never mind. I guess because I was gonna ask him like, how come Daemon wasn't considered as one of the people for the throne?
He was, though.
That I realized that. I'm like, they said like 14 other people, but like the 2 main people were Viserys and Rhaenyra. So I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Let's see, Rhaenyra. This is when Alicent was like really being belittled. Like everyone's kind of just like dismissing her.
Yeah, this is after she had like 2 kids already.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, you're hi, Miss Queen, goodbye," and they're just like, "Oh, what do you know? Like you don't really know anything," and it's like, "Oh, okay," like they're just being really mean to her. It's like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a setup for later.
Yeah, for episode 5.
Oh boy, episode 5. Episode 4 though.
Rhaenyra.
There's a little bit of incest.
Well, there's a couple things I wrote for episode 4. I wrote orgy / incest / Alicent, because like those are all the sex scenes going on. Because Alicent was like with the king, but she.
Oh yeah, Alicent was not having a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Later on, I put more tree with Alicent, and then I said incest is bad ? Because
I mean,
the reason I put that down was because later when Rhaenyra and Viserys were kind of caught, they were just like, like how could they have done this? And I was like, I thought they almost paired her up with her brother like an episode ago.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, incest isn't bad necessarily. It's that she wouldn't have been a virgin.
Yep.
And I was like,
it's all about the medieval double standards.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's dumber. I mean, yeah, I get that's the standard or whatever. I'm like, I like that Viserys when I know this is jumping around a lot, but when Viserys was confronted by Otto, the Hand, that she went to a brothel. Viserys was like, what of it? like so. But then that made me confused because I'm like, well, then if she needs to be a virgin, like, he's okay with her being at a brothel as long as.
Oh yeah, that's kind of strange. That feels like a bit of an inconsistency, I guess.
Unless it's like, well, peasants aren't real people, so like it only counts if a noble or higher, a higher ranked person sleeps with you, because then at that point you're not a virgin, possibly. I don't know how they were supposed to take that, or if he just said what of it, like, no, keep telling me. Like what was she doing there?
No, I definitely thought that he was going like, what of it? Like, why does it matter?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, he had to have that explained to him by Otto, so I don't really see why he exploded on Rhaenyra later. But
the last thing I wrote for episode 4, I know we're jumping around a lot. I apologize, but the last thing I wrote was abortion tea.
Ah, yes, abortion tea.
And I was like, time for tea time? We have tea.
What have I done?
But anyway, where did we leave off? Rhaenyra and was supposed to be. Yeah, I don't know where we left off. Okay, I think here Lena was supposed to be wed to a man from Bravos, and they were scared of that.
Lena,
the one that was supposed to be the 12-year-old that's now a.
Oh, okay.
16-year-old or something, I don't know. That was supposed to be wed to Viserys.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's off in Bravos.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they were getting scared that like they're making more political moves, and Valerian. I can't.
Valar.
I've written these things down and I don't know how to say them. Anyway, the sea snake is gaining more power.
Yes.
And they're scared of that.
Which is good setup.
Yeah.
For later.
Well, okay. Then Rhaenyra and Daemon sneak out. I said they're pulling a Jasmine, since they just sneak out to go hang out with the pores.
It's an Aladdin reference.
It is an Aladdin reference.
Wow.
The last thing I wrote in this page was because this was after Rhaenyra and Daemon came back, and Daemon rejected Rhaenyra because he's just like, this is wrong, which was weird because he's done a lot of. I mean, like, I get that he has some sort of a conscience, but like, it is kind of funny that like this is where he draws the line, which.
I can't do it. This is too fucked up for me.
Yeah.
I'm a violence guy.
Yeah, and then Rhaenyra's just like, I'm sad. I mean, like, I get it. She's sad. She wants to just be with someone, and so I put, "Don't hurt Kristen," with a sad face, and now I'm like,
Kristen. Yes, hurt Kristen.
Well, because dude, Kristen.
Oh boy, Kristen.
He becomes nice guy. He becomes like a nice guy, like, and the thing is. It is interesting because of some other stuff that I want to get into, but that, I think, happens in episode 5, so I won't talk about it. Viserys meets with Otto.
Rhaenyra gets with Kristen at the very end of episode 4.
That's what the... Rhaenyra is the queen of gaslighting. because Alicent like asked.
Oh yeah, the other scene at the
trees.
Yeah, at the rumor tree.
Alicent's like, did you fuck Daemon? She's like, no, I did not have sex with him. And then that whole statement is technically true.
Yes,
but like
there was a line that she said about something. There was no deflowering, or something to the effect of that.
Yeah, but she had sex with Kristen later, and she was making out and like getting close with Daemon. So it's like she was telling half truths.
Yeah,
and then the king asks her stuff because this was after he talked to Otto, and he's just like, "Don't sully my daughter's name," even though he's like, "Nah, he was kind of right." And then she's just like. Oh yeah, nothing. Yeah, we did stuff, but like whatever, or whatever she was saying was like. But she was like, "Oh, how about I just wed Leonor, Valeria, the sea snake's son."
Yes.
And she starts making like her kind of political moves of like, we can do this wedding and this will grant us power, but you also have to get rid of Otto because he's a fucking snake.
You have to do your duty as king.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, "Sorry, Otto, you're fired." And I was like, because Otto's sneaky. Like he wants his family to have power, but then he's just like, he tells Alicent like, "Oh, I only wanted what's best for our kingdom, and that just so happens that it's my lineage." like come on, dude. Like it's so funny. That's kind of the end of episode 4.
Pretty much.
Yeah, abortion tea is the last thing.
Yeah. Also, it did not look like it was a very tasty tea. It looked like it probably tasted really bad.
It kind of looked like perfume, like in a bottle. Without
it was like a circular kind of a bottle.
Yeah, and I was like, when they were bringing it, I'm like, "What's this?" Like until you start talking.
Is that dragon fire?
Yeah, I don't remember what dragon fire is.
No, like the green stuff, the explosives.
Oh, the explosives. Yeah,
here, drink this.
Yeah. Some Targaryens don't get hurt by fire, right? Or all of them? I don't know. I don't remember the lore.
It's a laxative. Makes you explode.
True. But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
And then
episode 5.
Another bad wedding in the Game of Thrones
Episode 5.
Yes.
Whew. God damn. Oh. She. Very good episode.
Yeah.
One of my favorites in the whole series. Game of Thrones included.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Love episode 5.
Yeah, it was very good. There was a lot of things that happened, and it was...
And they were all, interacting with each other.
Well, dude, I was going to bring that up. Having a setting where so many people are interacting in different ways, but just in the same room, and then, people's eyes on different things and what they're watching. So good. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, that's like... Man. It's good. It's good.
Yes. Yeah, so how do we start? Damon fucking kills Rhea.
Let me open on that, too.
Dude, the way... Because when Rhea first shows up, I was like, I kind of like her. She's just kind of like her own woman, and she's just like...
Yeah, and she doesn't... And she hates Damon, so already good.
Yeah.
And off to a good start.
And then Damon uses the fucking force on the horse and knocks her down. I did not know what was happening. Her. Yeah, when she fucking gets knocked back, and then she gets crushes her, she's like, I can't move. I'm like, I did not think this is where this was going. And then she's like, I knew you couldn't finish. And
she just bashes her head in with a rock.
Dude. Yeah, it was like, oh my god, dude.
Very good scene. I like that.
Yeah. I put Lady Rhea of the Vale is wife to Damon. Next line, I like her. Line after that, welp. Yeah. Let's see. What else happened?
The wedding.
Well, yeah.
That was most of the episode. I mean, they went to...
Allison gets info at the tree again with the one dude. The Lannister kid, Larys.
Is he a Lannister?
I don't know if he's a Lannister. He's son of...
The guy with the club foot.
Yeah, he's the son of the Hand. I don't remember who the new Hand is.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
I like him. He's fine.
He's friend of King Hand.
Yeah, so far everything he said, pretty all right. He's been good to Viserys, but yeah, I don't know. She finds out that her friend got the abortion tea, but she's just like, oh no, and that leads into
that's when she decides to kill all the Targaryens or whatever.
Yeah, which I don't think works out. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's probably not gonna work out.
Laenor and Rhaenyra.
They talk about getting married, and they're like, haha, I don't like eating goose. And he's like, oh, you're missing out, kid. Winks at camera.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we can get married, but, we don't have to, love each other. We can still, get with it.
We have to make one kid, and that's all right, and that's it.
We have to do our duty, and then fucking who cares?
Yeah. Viserys is, he's dying much faster now, or much more.
Oh yeah,
he's just
every time he has to do some dialogue, he's just coughing into a handkerchief.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm alright. I just gotta walk over there.
I don't need the chair. Out of it. Don't put the chair near me.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm just gonna sleep. I'm gonna lay down. He's very clearly dying. Which, I mean, I guess at the end of the episode, we'll talk about. Because I don't know. Well, anyway, I forgot where's this at. I wrote here.
You're lost in your own notes.
I said
you
Kristen.
Wrote them,
no, that was when
everything went wrong.
No, it was on the boat where he was just princess. Could
I
you
made an
me?
oath,
dude. Oh my god, when he at this point, if you didn't realize how fucking nice guy he is, dude, because he was just like, oh, let's marry each other and let's go off, and then Rhaenyra gave an actual response of like that's unrealistic, I still want to do this, I have responsibilities, and then he's just like, I need to feel better about having sex even though my vow was not to, and then it's just dude,
I mean, it's a continuation of the themes of the show, because the whole point is oh, medieval traditions are bad.
Well, not even just that. It's just that I saw, which which gets really shown later, is that Kristen is like sexually repressed, right? Because he's in like the military in a religion.
Yeah, he's supposed to be chaste.
Yeah, and so it's showing that like this hyperfixation on like subduing, which it's very important because he doesn't get to release any of that, and so like he has a lot of pent up like like fear and guilt and shame and and in doing an act that like Rhaenyra is like, well, whatever, it was that was last night, like, which is an interesting dichotomy because he thinks like, well, in order for this to be okay, like there's so many other things that have to be done, and even later when he meets up with Alicent, and confesses, and she's just like, just fucking go, like he's just like, I'm not satisfied with being punished. Like,
that was also a brilliant scene because, like, for both of the characters, like they both get something that they wanted, but they are also not even close to being on the same page about what happened in that conversation.
Yeah, and also they're also both very unhappy with the results.
Yeah,
because like he gets released or relieved to like go,
and he thinks he's gonna get like killed by the queen.
But when he gets relieved, he's just like, I wasn't punished for this, and like he has this need to like kind of be punished for like doing this wrong deed, because he's not punished, he kind of falls off the deep end later.
Alicent could have skipped all of this bullshit in the wedding if during that conversation she would have just been like, oh, thank God, I thought she fucked her uncle. And then Kristen was like, what? No, it was me.
But the point for her was that it wasn't so much that she slept with the uncle, is that she lied in terms of like, she wanted to know, did you defile yourself, right? And then Rhaenyra's like, no, I didn't have sex with anyone, even though specifically towards Daemon, because that was a more pressing matter.
Yeah.
But that she was lied to, and then that her father was kicked out because she believed the lie.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, oh, if they're just gonna fuck me over, and on top of that, she's not respected, like as just the queen or a person. Like she's like, oh, fuck them.
This series, I'm assuming the book does this as well, but it's like a masterwork on characters doing Y because of X.
Yeah.
Like it all just makes sense.
Yeah, it's very good in that way where every action has like a consequence.
Fuck! Oh, my eyes! Oh, I'm blind! Chris! Where? Fuck. Oh, we're back. We're back. Wonderful.
Yeah, I can't believe that there was no video for that long.
We were in darkness.
Time. Yeah, we didn't exist for...
Oh, my eyes are still adjusting. Oh.
Either that or I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Yeah, fuck it, the bit's over. Alright, episode 5. It's a wedding. Someone dies. Fucking, alright, episode end.
Shut up. Well, where are we?
I have no idea where we left off.
Well, okay, where do you want to continue from? Because
let's go.
We could try going all the way back, or we could...
Okay, let's just start from the wedding and just go like chronologically, like the events that happen in the wedding.
Okay.
Because it starts as a grand celebration, because it's like, oh my god, the princess is marrying the guy, her like cousin or something.
Yes.
And there's a big celebration planned, and it does not go well. Let's see, the first things that are happening is it's Laenor's secret lover goes and taunts Kristen.
Yes.
Which I'm not sure if that was supposed to be like a provocation or a taunting thing. And it was just like, hey man, we're in the same boat, you and I. So hit me up if you need anything. It might have just been that. Mm-hmm. But Kristen, being all incel-y, takes it way too far.
Dude, he's just so misguided and like and so scared too about like what he's done and stuff. And it's like, I get it, but like to do the later stuff is like, you're fucking psychotic. But anyway, what happens next? I put Jason as stupid.
Jason? Which one's Jason?
It's Jason Lannister. I think he's the ruler of Target of
High Rock.
Lannister, Castle of the Rock.
Caster, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Alicent's dress
was green.
Yeah, it was green.
And the show pointed out the symbolism to us this time instead of having us watch the Alt-Shift-X video about it.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated.
Yeah, so green means war for their house or
yeah.
something. And so she just comes in with a full-on green dress. I'm going to be honest, Viserys just didn't seem like he knew what was going on.
Yeah, no,
He's just kind of like, thanks, honey. And it's just like...
Where was I in my speech? Oh, yeah. To the drinking.
Yeah, to drinking. Let's see. Daemon is trying to get more power in Runestone. Because he's all like, my wife tragically died. Where's my kingdom? Like,
oh, yeah.
And then her cousin's just like, she was murdered. And then Daemon's like, oh, that's crazy.
So what about my inheritance?
Yeah. But that was fun. Daemon.
That was a very like big brain being an asshole moment right there.
Yeah. I like what he said to I think Viserys in the Hand. He's like, isn't there like punishments for slander? Like, after he's just like, hey, I think you did something, and he's just like, what?
That's crazy. I would never.
Yeah, that's what he says. Lyanna and Daemon start talking, which was, I thought that was going to be more to it than just the 5 seconds that it was. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
It was when Daemon starts getting up, and then Lyanna, the
boat queen,
the daughter of the sea snake.
Oh.
The one that was supposed to marry Viserys.
Oh.
Yeah, they start talking a little bit. I thought she was going to recognize that Daemon was, like, in love with or in lust with Rhaenyra, but she didn't say anything, really. And then I thought he was trying to hit on her.
Yeah, I thought they were making some moves.
But then he just moved on to Rhaenyra again. I was like, okay, well then. And then when they start dancing, and Viserys is, like, eyeing them and shit, and I'm just like, okay.
And then, yeah, Daemon isn't even going for that angle. He's just like, is this really what you want? And then Rhaenyra's like, I guess.
What I wanted something before, but obviously you didn't, so
you lose.
Yeah, that's what happens. What else happens?
Aside from the obvious thing.
Should we just talk about it?
Yeah, fuck it, let's go there. Kristen, why? Why, Kristen? You had it so, like, you were gonna be fine. You fucked up.
He was, like, the naive, like, nice guy. And then he became the incel of just like, how do people, do this? I mean, it's not really incel-y, but it's like kind of. Oh my god, he beats
a man to death.
Yeah,
the wrong man to death.
Yeah, I was like, dude, what? Just because he went up, like the guy was trying to be all like, you and me can stick together and stuff because we all want this, and then he's just like, I don't want this. he goes so psycho. It's so funny. I mean, it's not funny, but like, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, but it does set the stage. That was like the perfect inciting moment for like a 4-way civil war.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
With Rhaenyra and the Crown.
Yeah.
We've got the Sea Snake, or rather, the Sea Snake's son, who might rebel against Rhaenyra.
I don't think so.
Probably not, but it could happen.
Yeah, it could.
Because, he knows that her lover killed his lover.
Yeah. But, I mean, it doesn't seem like... Well, yeah,
And then we got Hightower...
That's
and Daemon, perhaps.
Yeah.
Although I think he's probably going to fight on Rhaenyra's side, most likely.
Most likely. And then all the other like factions that are like, we want Aegon to be king or something.
5-way civil war.
Yeah, it's a lot. Let's see. Yeah, Kristen. Like I think I mentioned earlier. His repressed sexuality. And mixed that he thinks that like they had sex once, so he's in love or something, or like that he that this is how he should be feeling, and it's just like, dude, just you were a plaything. I feel bad for you, but I feel less bad for you now that you've murdered someone in cold blood. like, dude. And then when Leonor was like crawling to his lover, I was like, oh, this is rough. Like after he just smashed his head in, like, come on.
He really made that situation complicated.
Yeah, and then he's just like, I'm just gonna fall on the sword underneath the knowledge tree.
Under the knowledge tree.
I know
the gossip tree.
Yeah, the gossip tree.
Yeah, but then Allison comes in and she's like, no,
I could use you.
Don't kill yourself. You must command my armies.
Does she say that he has
no?
I think
that's probably what's gonna happen.
See, I thought she was just gonna use him for leverage and just like hide him away and just like as a secret trump card or something. Which is like, I guess. Yeah. Oh, the scene where like, Viserys is like gonna collapse. He collapses.
He collapses like, right at the end.
Yeah, because like they're like getting married like very quickly in tears and shit.
The whole week-long festivities are canceled. Shotgun wedding. Let's go.
And
so I don't know if you saw or bothered to watch like the end of episode preview for the next episode.
Oh no, I haven't watched that yet. No.
You see, I watched that, so I know some spoilers that you don't.
Do you want to tell me, or?
I mean, if you want.
It's not tomorrow, right?
Okay. I mean, Viserys is still alive.
I figured.
He didn't die from the fall.
Yeah, I figured.
But he looks really fucked up.
He's just more dead.
Yeah, I think the next time skip is going to be the longest time skip that we've seen so far. Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought I saw online that Rhaenyra had a different actress.
Yes.
And so
the one we've been seeing so far is only for young Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
So we're skipping to old Rhaenyra.
Or older.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how old she's supposed to be.
Yeah, and so. I knew that because I looked at like IMDb or something like that, and then it said Rhaenyra actresses. I was like, she wasn't in like a flashback in like.
You mean
Game
like
of
a
Thrones?
stunt double?
Yeah. Well, I was like, she's much older, so I'm like, it has to be her adult.
Yeah.
Version. But yeah, the last scene though was the rat feasting on the blood,
which is symbolic.
Yes.
Of the low sanitation standards in King's Landing.
Yeah, that's it.
Is there a house with a rat?
No, I think it's just being like.
So who is the rat?
I'm assuming Alicent, because she's the one trying to like tear them down from the inside, like actively trying now, because now she has Kristen, which actually did some harm. Oh, by the way, when he was beating that one dude to death, like, the hand sending that one guard to, like, just pick up Rhaenyra and just take her away. And just, respect. like, he needed that guy in and out just so Rhaenyra doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, but no one tried to stop Kristen from beating the man to death.
Yeah, they kind of just watched.
Odd choice for the other Kingsguard there.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's not like the Kingsguard really care about anyone's lives, really.
Yeah, and plus, like, they probably would be like, I trust my fellow Kingsguard.
Yeah.
Like, if he's beating someone to death, he probably deserved it. Like, which, technically Kristen can make a case. Like, it's like, he's gay.
He did pull a knife on me.
Yeah, it's like, all those things, very bad, I had to kill him. And then they'd be like, okay.
Kingsguard, guard king, all right.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah, that's it's another bad wedding. The weddings don't go well, man, in Game of Thrones.
This is the best wedding in Game of Thrones. Fight me.
Really? You like this more than the Red Wedding?
Yes, there's so many strings that are being pulled in all directions. Because, like, the Red Wedding, it's just, like, people die.
Yeah, it's a very dramatic,
still really good, but not
watch.
As much as happening.
Yeah. No.
Same thing with the Purple Wedding.
Yeah. But in this one, there's actual stuff.
Same thing with Padme and Anakin's wedding.
As this wedding? Or as the Purple Wedding? Or
people... It was a bad joke. It was not a very good joke. I apologize. It was supposed to be like, oh yeah, get best Game of Thrones weddings, the Red Wedding, the Purple Wedding, Anakin and Padme. Oh. That's what I was going for.
Yeah, that didn't pan out.
That didn't work.
No. Cut this out. I have a lot of editing to do after this video. I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah, so that's we're caught up on
we did it. We caught up with Game of Thrones
as of this recording.
Game of Thrones 2 is pretty good.
Electric
okay, overall thoughts on the show, though. How does it compare to the best of Game of Thrones?
The
like
costumes,
seasons,
very beautiful.
Well, yeah, still fantastic. On par, if not better than original series. I'd say that the camera work is better in this one. I
think the CGI is a little bit less.
Yeah, sure. Opinion. I still think it's pretty good, though.
Yeah, that's why I was just saying it's bad or anything. I was saying a little bit less.
They've only got the $14 million dragons this time.
Yeah. Although Damon's dragon is really cool. I like that it has a long neck. It's kind of like...
Yeah, he's real big.
Yeah.
He's a big dragon. I like it.
But overall, I think it's very good so far.
I really like the visual direction in this show. It's really good.
I don't know if it... Because I've heard a lot of hype for the show before. Like, I watched it for this.
I didn't know it was coming out until like a week before it aired. So...
but I just heard a lot of people talking about like how good it was and stuff. And I think with people hyping it a lot and then just my reservations of the show, like, it's not as good as people think... If people say it is to me. But I still think it's very good. But I guess we'll have to see because like each episode is getting better in my opinion. So
yes,
like if that trend continues, the last episodes are going to be fantastic.
I have a hot take.
Oh.
I have a take hot as Dragon's Fire, perhaps.
Oh,
a Valyrian take.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think that the series so far, and like what it's building up to, is better than Game of Thrones.
Like, as an entire whole.
As a whole, it is better than Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Because it is much more concise and just, like, good. It's good. You see, Game of Thrones, you're like, it's good, but it's bad. This one is just good.
I mean, I was going to say, like, wait till the end, but, like, this book's already finished, so as long as they just adapt it, then it should be fine, right?
Yeah, but like even for a Game of Thrones, like proper Martin influenced Game of Thrones, it takes a long time for stuff to happen. In House of Dragons, things are just going like.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, they have the luxury of time skips, which helps, but
yeah, they do that. I think I was gonna say I think that what happens with the Game of Thrones and the reason why it would feel so different from that in House of Dragons is, did House of Dragons come out after like a lot of the Game of Thrones stuff, or came out?
Okay. So the original book series Fire and Blood came out in between some of the books in the Song of Ice and Fire. Yeah. It's somewhere in there.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I think that's just the development of like Martin getting better.
It might be
right, but
keep in mind he's been writing for a long time.
no, yeah, but I mean, like when you develop a new story, right? Like it's trying to, or different parts of the story, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And it being a prequel, you could, because you know things happen within a prequel series, like you don't have to like tread water on audience expectations on what's going on or like where's it going to lead. You can just delve into like these are the things that are happening that are causing conflict. And
well, once the ending is assumed, then you're free to really flesh out the middle.
Yeah. And then I think with Game of Thrones, at the very least in the book series Song of Ice and Fire, like it's a lot harder because the ending isn't known, right? Well, generally. Like where Martin wants to go with it and he wants to like make this like grandiose like, you know, plan, whereas this is a lot more concise of a like story. It also helps that like this is a time of peace. It's a lot more family sorts.
Yeah, we're pretty much only focused on King's Landing as a setting. And
so,
wherever Daemon is.
Yeah, and so I think that all of those tie into having a much more compact story.
Yes.
That like is able to translate very well into the show, which you know I think is good. I mean, I like the grandiose stuff of like Game of Thrones that works, but I could see how someone would like this more because of how concise it is. But,
it is condensed.
Yeah, condensed.
is refined.
Yeah.
It is a fine luxury good.
Yeah. You good?
You looking fine.
Thank you. Anything else you want to say as an end note?
Come on, Damon, get on the chair.
You want Damon on?
I don't know. I'd rather him than Allison. Fuck.
What about Rhaenyra?
Rhaenyra, yeah, she's probably gonna die. She's probably gonna be killed.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I want the murder boy on the chair.
Yeah,
make him king.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. But yeah, it's
real
so
good.
Yeah,
real good. 10 out of 10.
Like it's able to stand alone and without Game of Thrones, and I think that is good too. And yeah.
I mean, it's Game of Thrones, but it doesn't Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It don't podcast just like us.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry about all the technical issues that I'm probably going to have to, edit over, or you've already seen. Yeah. Hopefully it went well enough, or you have us in the background. Either one is fine.
Yeah, hopefully you,
You're doing good. This is our first episode, officially. So we apologize.
This is the first episode we filmed.
Thank you for watching.
Go watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, for the 10th time.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And I hope you're having a good day. How's it going out there, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you're having a good time. This next one's for all the lovely ladies out there. And that's where it cut.